Picture this. You open your phone and see Can Yaman stepping onto Italy's biggest live TV stage. Not as a guest, not as a performer, but as a co-host. That's exactly what's happening. Can Yaman has been officially confirmed as co-host of the first night of Festival di Sanremo 2026, alongside Carlo Conti and Laura Pausini. And if you're thinking, okay, cool, but why is everyone acting like this is a career earthquake? Stay with me because this moment is bigger than it looks. In this video, I'll break down what Sanremo really is, why this role is a rare power move, and what it could mean for Can's next era. And if you want updates like this without missing a beat, make sure you're subscribed because things are moving fast. First, let's get one thing straight. Sanremo isn't just a music festival. In Italy, Sanremo is basically a national event. It's the kind of show that families watch together, that dominates headlines, that floods social media, that turns singers into icons and puts cultural moments into history. People outside Italy sometimes hear music festival and imagine a normal award show. But Sanremo is more like a mix of a major live TV spectacle, a cultural ritual, and a week-long media storm. When Sanremo happens, Italy pauses. So when RAI, Italy's public broadcaster, confirms someone as a co-host of the opening night, that's not a random booking. That's a statement. Because the first night is the moment everyone tunes in to see. What's the vibe, what's the production, what's the big surprise, who's on stage, and who's about to become the headline of the week? The opening night sets the tone for everything. Now, the official announcement matters here. This isn't rumors or fan pages say. It's the kind of confirmation that comes through official channels and major media outlets, tied to the festival's official plan. The big detail is this. Can Yaman will co-host the first night. And that first night is scheduled for Tuesday, February 24, 2026, at the legendary Teatro Ariston. The festival runs through Saturday, February 28, 2026. Those dates are important, because it shows this isn't a vague maybe. It's locked in. So what does a co-host actually do at Sanremo? This is where it gets interesting. A co-host isn't someone who just walks out, waves, and disappears. On Sanremo, co-hosts are part of the live rhythm. They introduce acts, interact with the main host, handle segments, keep the energy alive between performances, and sometimes become the viral highlight of the night. It's live TV, high pressure and highly visible. It's a role that requires presence, timing, confidence, and a personality that can fill a massive stage. And now imagine the symbolism. Carlo Conti, one of the most established Italian TV figures, and Laura Pausini, a globally recognized Italian music legend, standing alongside Can Yaman, an international star with a fan base that spans multiple countries and languages. That trio alone is a headline. It's Italy meeting the world. And it's the world being invited into Italy's biggest television moment. So why Can? Why now? Because this isn't happening in a vacuum. The timing lines up with a very specific wave. Can's growing international profile, and the way Italian media has been connecting him with big, prestigious projects, especially Sandokan. You've seen it. The Sandokan name has become more than just a title. It's a symbol. It's a classic Italian story being reintroduced for a modern era, with Can as the face. And when a broadcaster and a festival want a bridge between tradition and global attention, you pick someone who can carry both. In other words, this booking is strategic. Sanremo loves moments that feel larger than the stage. It loves narrative. It loves prestige. And it loves when a night feels like something is happening in Italian culture right now. Having Can co-host the opening night is exactly that kind of move. A crossover moment, a headline magnet, and a way to pull international eyes onto the broadcast. Now let's talk about what this means for Can's career, and why fans should take it seriously. There are plenty of actors who become popular online, and there are actors who become institutionally powerful. Meaning the biggest TV and media structures start placing them in high-visibility roles, not just projects. Co-hosting Sanremo's opening night is the second category. It's not just he's famous. It's he's trusted to represent the show. 'Cause think about what Sanremo represents. It's live. It's watched by a broad audience. Not just fans but families, older viewers, casual viewers, people who might not follow series news at all. That kind of audience exposure is different. It's not the same as a streaming release where people click because they already want the show. This is mass visibility. And mass visibility creates a different type of momentum. Changes how press talks about you. Changes what brands think. Changes what producers assume you can carry. It changes what future casting conversations look like. In short, it's a credibility amplifier. Now let's talk about the internet reaction because you already know what's happening. The moment a big Sanremo announcement drops, it doesn't stay inside Italy. Spreads. Articles pop up in multiple languages. Fans translate. Clips circulate. And what does that do? It creates a new entry point for people who've never followed John before. Someone might not watch Turkish dramas. Someone might not know the Italian projects. But they know Sanremo, or they know Laura Pausini, or they recognize Carlo Conti, and suddenly they see this charismatic actor co-hosting the opening night and go, "Who is this?" That's how global fan bases grow. Through unexpected mainstream moments. And this moment is especially powerful because it's not framed as guest star comes to promote. It's framed as co-host of opening night. That wording changes the perception completely. Okay, so what's the bigger story behind the booking? Here's the bigger story. Sanremo is a national stage, and national stages are used to shape cultural narratives. When someone appears there, it's often because the network wants to connect that person to a wider identity. Sometimes it's Italy's voice. Sometimes it's the future of Italian entertainment. Sometimes it's international connection. Sometimes it's big event marketing. John being placed on that stage suggests that the system sees him as part of something bigger than just one show. It suggests they see him as a face that can carry attention. And that's exactly what you need when you're building hype for major projects. And yes, while we should avoid pretending we know every behind-the-scenes detail, we can talk about what this usually implies. Big TV moments like this often align with broader media strategies. If a network is invested in a project, if they want the public to associate a face with prestige, they put that face on big stages. That's how entertainment machines work everywhere. Not just Italy. Now let's break down why the opening night is such a big deal specifically. Sanremo runs several nights, and every night matters. But the opening night is the launch. It's the first impression. It's where the atmosphere is established. And it's where social media begins its weekly obsession. If you win the opening night in terms of buzz, if people talk about you, meme you, clip you, quote you, you can dominate the conversation for days. That's why co-hosting the first night is a prime slot. It's the night with maximum curiosity. It's the night where everyone wants to see what surprises are planned. And it's the night where the co-host has a chance to become a viral highlight. So what can we expect from John on that stage? We can't predict exact jokes or exact segments, but we can talk about the type of presence that typically works at Sanremo. It's a mix of elegance and spontaneity. You need charm, timing, and the ability to react in real time. And if there's one thing fans already know about John, it's that he's comfortable on camera, comfortable with audiences, and capable of switching between serious and playful energy. Plus, language and international appeal matter. John's multilingual presence has been part of his public image. And on a show that increasingly lives online in clips shared across countries, that matters. Even a single line delivered with the right charisma can travel globally. Now, there's also a symbolic layer here. Sanremo is not just about music. It's about Italy presenting itself. Putting an international star with strong connections to Italian productions on the opening night is Italy saying, we're not only celebrating our tradition, we're also exporting our culture, and we know the world is watching. And that brings us to Sandokan again because you can feel how the narrative connects. When Italian media references Sandokan in relation to John, it's not accidental. Sandokan is a classic. It's a piece of cultural memory. It carries a certain romantic adventure identity, almost mythical. If the network wants to stir nostalgia and excitement at the same time, linking John to that legacy helps. So when Carlo Conti announces John as co-host, and the internet instantly connects it to Sandokan energy. It becomes a perfect story. A modern star stepping into an iconic Italian narrative, and then stepping onto the iconic Italian stage. That's why fans are calling this a power move. 'Cause it is. Now let's zoom out and talk about what this could mean for the broader Can Yaman global era. We've seen how international entertainment works today. Streaming platforms fight for attention. Shows compete with everything. The difference between a project that becomes big and one that stays niche is often not quality. It's visibility. It's how many entry points exist for casual viewers to discover it. Sanremo is an entry point. A massive one. If you're a casual viewer and you see Can co-hosting, you might look him up. You might see clips. You might stumble into interviews. You might then discover his filmography. And suddenly you've created a new viewer who wasn't even part of the original fandom. That's the compounding effect of mainstream stages. Also, think about brand perception. When an actor is chosen for a big live broadcast role, it tells brands and producers, this person can handle pressure. It tells media, this person is relevant right now. It tells the public, you should pay attention. And in entertainment, attention is currency. Now for the fandom, what should you do with this moment? First, understand that this is the kind of news that can be turned into momentum if fans amplify it the right way. When the announcement happens, content starts flooding social media. People post screenshots. People translate. People clip. People react. If you want to support Can, the best thing you can do is simple. Share the news with clarity. Use the key facts. Avoid confusion. The message is strong enough without exaggeration. Can Yaman is confirmed as co-host of the opening night of Sanremo 2026, on February 24th, with Carlo Conti and Laura Pausini, live from Teatro Ariston. That sentence alone is powerful. Second, keep an eye on how Italian media frames the story in the days leading up to the festival. Because the build-up is part of Sanremo. The press coverage, the rehearsal mentions, the backstage photos, those often shape how big the moment feels before it even happens. Third, be ready for clips. Sanremo clips travel fast. And if Can has even one standout on-stage moment, a joke, a line, a reaction, a charismatic exchange, that clip can become the viral gateway that pulls new people into the fandom. Now let's talk about the risk side too, because being honest makes this even more exciting. Live TV is unpredictable. That's what makes it powerful. Can be magical. Can also be intense. But the fact that Can has been chosen anyway tells you the organizers believe he can deliver. And that confidence from a show like Sanremo is meaningful. So what's the headline takeaway? The takeaway is this. Can isn't just being watched by fans anymore. He's being placed on the biggest mainstream stage in Italy. That marks a shift. It's a move that says, this is a star with national-level visibility and international pull. And when that kind of placement happens, it usually means bigger media moments are coming. And if you're someone who follows this journey closely, you're witnessing a turning point in real time. This is the kind of career moment that becomes a before and after in a timeline. Before. An international star known for series and huge online popularity. After. A star who is also part of Italy's biggest live television event. Now, as we get closer to February 24th, we'll be watching for every update. Any official promo, any rehearsal mention, any backstage teasers, and especially how the show frames his role on the night itself. Because one thing is guaranteed. When the opening night begins and Can steps onto that stage, the internet is going to light up. And when it does, we'll be ready. If you want me to cover the next updates the moment they drop, including where and how international fans can watch, what segments he's involved in, and the biggest viral moments from the night. Subscribe right now so you don't miss the next video. And comment below. What do you think this Sanremo move means for Can's next era? Is this the beginning of his biggest international year yet?